as far as I can tell. There's this tremendous idea that's at the bottom of Western culture that's taken the human race millennia and perhaps an endless amount of time before then, an eternal amount of time before then to formulate. And the idea is that our consciousness, and that's the center of us, the soul, whatever that happens to be, partakes in the process by which creation comes into being. And we do that through the logos, which is our capacity to think and to utter words and to engage in dialogue, but more importantly, to do that truthfully. And that to the degree that we're able to do that truthfully, we bring paradise into being rather than hell. And it seems to me that that's as close to objective reality, although it's not precisely objective, it's more than objective reality. It's a kind of meta-reality. It's the most profound truth that you'll ever encounter. And the thing that's cool about it is you can put it to the test if you want. You know, you start deciding that you're not going to lie, because how the hell are you going to tell the truth? What do you know? You don't know what the truth is, but you certainly know when you're lying, and you know how to stop doing that. And so I would say, well, just stop lying and see what happens. Try it for like a year. You don't get to lie about anything anymore. And that also means you can't do things that you would be afraid to talk about, because, you know, if you're going to tell the truth, you have to tell the truth about what you did. And if you do reprehensible things, then you can't just run around telling everybody about them. So it also means that you have to not act in a way that you wouldn't speak truthfully about. And just try it. You'll find out, first of all, that you're so full of lies and deceit that you just bloody well can't believe it. When I started doing this 30 years ago, it really just about drove me crazy, because I divided into two people in some sense, and one person was talking, and the other person was watching the person that was talking, and the talking person was a puppet, and the watching person was the right person. And every time the talking person said something, the watching person would go, "You don't believe that? That isn't true. That isn't your idea." And I thought, wow, that's really not good, because it looks like 95% of what I'm saying isn't mine, or I'm saying it for show, or I'm saying it to be dominant primate, or I'm saying it so that I can be, you know, so that I can use my language instrumentally and get what I want, or you know, I swiped it from a book and I really don't deserve it, but I'm saying it. And like, it was horrible. It was 95%, seriously. And so then I learned, at least in part, to only say things that made me feel like I was together, and that's part of that coming together. You can feel that physically. You know, if you say something deceitful, you shrink and you cower from it. It makes you embarrassed, and it makes you weak. You can feel the weakness. It's like, well, stop saying things that make you weak if you don't want to be weak. Then if you want to be strong, stop saying things that make you feel weak. Try it. Try it. See what happens. You can test this out. In a year, things will be way different for you. In 5 years, you won't even be the same person. And God only knows what will happen in a decade. So it's really worth it. Besides, you don't have anything better to do anyways, because here you are, you know, suffering stupidly away. You might as well do something useful with your time while you're waiting to die. So... And there isn't anything more interesting to do than that. It's so cool, because, and I mean, it's part of what I decided to do last September when I made these, you know, crazy videos, which really had more of an effect than I certainly thought they would. I thought, well, I've got some things to say, and why don't I say them and see what happens? It's like, that's an excellent way to live. Why don't I say the things that I think and see what happens? Well, this is one of the things that's happened, so that's kind of cool. I mean, how unlikely is this? It's completely absurd and ridiculous that here I'm with Jonathan, this crazy French-Canadian carver, and these two guys in dresses here. I mean, that's exactly what you'd expect, given what I've been talking about recently. This is very unlikely, and all of this has been very unlikely, and life is very unlikely, and you know, maybe it could be absolutely magnificent and wonderful. We could make everything into a holy temple in which we could live forever peacefully, only searching for more remarkable and spectacular things to do next, and that's what people do in paradise. They sit around dreaming about how the paradise they already had could give rise to a paradise that's yet greater than the one that's there. And with the collective imagination that we pursue, that could be a never-ending thing, and we could bring it into being, and that's what we should do, because the alternative is to let everything degenerate into chaos and hell. And how about we don't do that? Well, that's good enough.
Created with the iMovie application.
On Grandpa's iPad. Yeah, he hasn't been playing with us all morning.